people. This is Sbfavorthinking podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is October 3rd, 2020. It is a Saturday. Another day to be thankful. We all can find something to be thankful for. Think about all the good things in your life. There's something good in your life that makes you smile, something that gives you joy. Be thankful for that. We all have something to be thankful for. I always say if you think about something that is positive, you can project something positive to happen. So focus on what is positive. Recently, I received some feedback from one of my listeners, and I'm not going to call nobody out by name, but this individual stated to me that being positive can sometimes confuse a person if being positive is not naturally there. In other words, they were stating that if you have to force your mind to be positive, it can confuse you. Well, I must say that I was surprised to read that, but guess what? Being positive is a choice, and I'm not saying, we shouldn't deal with reality. I would never say that. But being positive and thinking positive is something that is very healthy, and it is a choice. Being positive mentally can never make you confused because you have a choice. If you're thirsty, you know how to get a glass of water and drink it, right? So being positive is a choice. And if you make a choice to think positive or to have a positive perception about something or find the positive things in something, that's a choice. Being positive is, to me, it is something that makes me feel better. I think that negative energy, it drowns us. It puts us in a position where it keeps us in a low place. So you don't want to be in a low place. Being positive is not some fantasy. It's not some fantasy where you don't deal with reality and you just walk around and just say, oh, everything is positive. No. Like I said, being positive and having a positive projection or a perception about things that are happening around you, or trying to find something good to focus on, that's a choice. That is a decision. It's easy to find something that's negative and just focus on it and focus on it and focus on it. And the more you focus on it, the more it will drag your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your soul into a place that you don't need to be. I believe that being negative is a form of darkness. There is no shade on the sun. When you look at the sun shining, it shines naturally and it's bright and it's beautiful and there's no shade on it. Even when the clouds are in the sky, when you're on a flight, that sun, you can literally see that the sun is still shining, and the sun has the ability to shine through the clouds. So, being negative to me, and this is my opinion, and I own it. For those that don't agree with me, I own what I say. So, being positive is a choice. It's a decision that you make to keep your spirit lifted. It's a decision that you make to feel better, to have more joy, to have more peace, and to have a positive projection. If you project all the negative things to happen, that means you just want chaos in your life. You don't want to have a negative projection. You want a positive projection. Now, when I receive that feedback, I'm always open to discussions, and I want to know what people think, and I want to know why they think it, and it's all good. But to say that being positive can make you confused if it's not natural, no, it can't make you confused, because it's a choice. You have to make a decision that you want to be positive. Now, if for some reason, if you're trying to be positive and then all of a sudden you feel confused, well, then you need to pray. Because being positive and being confused is two different things. So I hope that this podcast and the things I'm saying is helpful to you, because my motive and intent is to always inspire you and encourage you, because when I inspire you, I am in return inspired again, as I always say. We have to wake up in the morning projecting something good to happen. And if we project something good to happen, we develop an expectation, because we're looking forward to something good to happen. Why should anyone expect something bad to happen or project something bad to happen? Who lives like that? Well, yeah, I know some people do live like that. Unfortunately, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But we should wake up in the morning projecting something good to happen, whether it's something in our lives personally, for our friends, for our family members, or even our neighbors. We're supposed to project something good to happen and have an expectation that something good will happen. Today is Saturday, and guess what? I'm projecting this is going to be a great day. Something good is going to happen. Yes. That's how I live. Now, somebody out there might be saying, oh, well, she's not always positive. And what if something negative happens today? What is she going to do? Yeah, I'm always sometimes hearing the little voices of the naysayers. Yeah, I hear like that. But guess what? If something negative happens, it doesn't mean that I'm just going to, like I said earlier, act like, I'm going to just be positive and be in a fantasy. No. If something negative was to happen in my day, then what I do is I make the adjustment to respond to whatever the situation is. Then I keep it moving. I don't park in a place mentally to stay down. And I know, unfortunately, sometimes there could be really bad or serious situations that may occur in life sometimes. And I'm not saying, you're supposed to just look at something and not call it what it is and just, like I said, not deal with reality. What I'm saying is, when something happens, you make the adjustment to respond to it. But most importantly, you stay lifted. Keep your spirit lifted. Keep your conversation lifted. Pray. Do everything to keep yourself lifted. Don't park in a space mentally to stay down. That's my point. And when something negative happens, regardless of the situation, you can always see the positive, even though there may be something negative happening. So if many people or more people live that way, I think that there will be less negative people in the world. in the midst of a rainstorm and it's pouring down raining, or a hurricane, you notice how in the midst of something really bad, or something that looks to be bad, after it's gone, you notice how beautiful the sky becomes after the storm passes. Because sometimes, and even in the negative situations, there is something positive that you can focus on. It's important that we stay encouraged. It's important that we keep our spirit lifted. It's important that every day we live, we have a focus on something positive. When we look up to the sky, there are no imperfections up there. I don't see imperfections when I look at the sky. Even on a rainy day or a cloudy day, I don't see no imperfections when I look at the sky. Somebody might say, oh, well, pollution's in the air. No, I'm not talking about man-made stuff. Because every time you say something positive, there's always somebody negative to say something. Just look at society and the news, and, look at social media. Every time you say something positive, there's always one little person, or maybe more than that may say something negative. But what I'm saying to you is, when you look at the sky, there are no imperfections there. Look at it. Look at the sky every time you walk outside. There are no imperfections there. So, that's why it's important to be positive. Because when I look at the sky, I'm looking at God. He's perfect. He is 100% perfect. And because he is perfect, there is always something positive to focus on. Keep your spirit lifted. Keep your focus where it needs to be. Stay encouraged. And do what you have to do to make it in this life. Don't let nothing drag you. So, my words were in response to the feedback that I received. I really didn't plan to talk about all of this today, but guess what? Here I am. So I hope that you all have a good day, a good weekend, because it is a beautiful day. It's an awesome day, and we can pray and project something good to happen, even in the midst of something negative that may be happening. We have to remain optimistic, deal with our issues and our problems, but in the midst of that, stay lifted. It's very important, because if you walk through life allowing things to drag you, to me, that's not a conquering attitude. In order to have a conquering attitude, you have to stay lifted. Keep your spirit lifted. There's no excuse. If you woke up this morning, as you walk through this day, make a decision that you are going to keep your spirit lifted. No matter what is going on, no matter what happens, respond to whatever it is you have to respond to, even if it's something negative, but keep your spirit lifted. And you can project something good to happen, even if it is something negative happening. Don't let situations and circumstances drag you. When you're dragged by situations and circumstances, guess what? It comes to take your energy, take your joy, take your peace, and then what? You're left in the dark. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there, so stay lifted. I'm inspired again. Because when I inspire you, like I always say, I'm inspired again. So, I thank you so much for listening. I thank you for taking the time out to support this podcast. It has been an absolute blessing to me. And I am looking forward to sharing more inspirational topics and guests with you. I got some really good things coming up in the next few weeks. So just stay tuned. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click like and leave a comment. I would appreciate that. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at Sbfavor@Yahoo via email. You can also find me on social media at Sbfavor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My co-host, Rebecca, will be back on Tuesday, and I am looking forward to talking to her. We both have a lot to share because we both experienced death in our family at the same time 2 weeks ago. And during that experience, it was wow. It was a learning experience for both of us, of course. Sad, yes, it was sad, but it was a learning experience, and we have a lot to talk about. So have a good day, and thank you so much for listening to Sbfavorthinking podcast. Have a good day.